though they withdrew from the Northampton Municipal Court, and intend to, where Tewksbury is concerned, is to work with Washington Township in Morris County. An interesting choice. As yet has not made the transition, so for the coming year, the Northampton Municipal Court, for which they withdrew, will continue to serve as Tewksbury on a fee basis. They're going to basically pay us to handle their cases until they can become integrated in Washington Township. Very candidly, the hope, though certainly not the expectation, is that perhaps some of the townships that withdrew from the court, upon second look, may be asking to rejoin us, but that remains to be seen. Right now, with the reduction in staff and budget and so forth, and the fact that even the towns that withdrew have a continuing obligation to pay their fair share of the rent, the court will survive and we think prosper. Some of you don't know, the Northampton Municipal Court had been the largest joint court in the state. It has existed for more than 20 years. It was enormously successful, remains very successful. It's a very professional court. We're very lucky, and I think our police officers would agree that it's a very, very professional court. The judges and the law enforcement officials who service it do an excellent job. So it's going to remain as basically essentially the same court, just a smaller version.
School liaison, Mr. McGarry, Ms. Burgess.
I have nothing at this point.
We will be going back to comments from the public at this time. Excuse me, 1 minute, sir. Normally, the comments from the public that happen in the beginning of our meeting are the opportunity to have an open forum with the Township Committee. Usually, the second portion of our comments from the public is usually a little more reserved or geared towards items that we've just dealt with through the whole agenda that you've heard. Obviously, I know there's still a lot of people here this evening, so if you would again like to address the Township Committee about any of the items that we have just gone through on our agenda, you may feel free to do so. Since we actually seem to be running a little bit ahead of schedule, in order to afford everybody an opportunity, I will also quickly try to entertain any other issues that somebody might want to discuss with the Township Committee. Paul, your hand was up first. Go ahead.
Yeah. Concerning the Polkowski property, how is it that we're doing an appraisal now? I know that the Township Committeeman who orchestrated that whole deal is not here. But why are we doing an appraisal now? When we paid this man all his money, shouldn't we have done an appraisal at the time to see how much money we give him?
Yeah, much answer, please.
I mean,
yes, thank you, Mr. Hand. That property was purchased in January of 2006.
Yeah, I know all that.
And appraisal was secured for that purpose in actually 2005. However, there were no financing applications filed by the Township Committee or its open space coordinator for 2006, 2007, 2008. We discovered at the beginning of 2009 that that error was calling for action on our part. So we began and inquired upon ways
What errors?
to not apply for any of the state possible fundings that we could get if we had done so timely.
Are you saying to me then that the property was purchased with an appraisal that was done at the time?
Yeah, that's right.
Is there an appraisal in existence right now?
Yes, Paul.
For the property? Why can't the SADC use that?
Let me try. Paul, the reason for the prospects of these new appraisals that's dated now, the 2005 appraisal. And for purposes of the SADC, in order to get potential partner financing from them, we need current appraisals for them in order to process it.
Okay, well, why didn't you apply to the SADC then?
Great question.
Oh.
And I'll answer it further. We're working.
Anyway, I think this kind of thing has to stop because you know, as you, Mr. McGeer, as a lawyer, have said to me, don't ask any questions to which you don't know the answer. And I know the answer, but I don't want to embarrass anybody here now. So please, look into this. This is another one of
Let
these
me-
things
well,
that
allow
we've
me,
done with
okay.
transparency.
Well, allow me
Let
this.
me just finish my
We-
statement.
Well, I want to give you mine so you can stand on this one, which is that we're working on revenue now.
Yeah, I
Now that we
realize
discovered the error,
You wouldn't bring it up if you weren't working on it.
we're hammering on it. Chief, thanks, Paul. Thank you, Mr.
Quite simply put, Mr. Dahan, the appraisal is too old to be used.
Well, why didn't you apply to the SABC then? I mean, you're looking for money from another entity in the government.
We
You
understand
should have
that.
asked for it
We are in
then.
the current
Why wait
process.
till 3 years later?
Paul,
Ask and answer.
let me answer, please. The hesitancy on the part of the committee to give what is obviously, what has been given, which is, you're right, an unsatisfactory answer, is unfortunately, the committee as constituted at the time, when it should have been done, certain, certain member was, supposed to do this and didn't do it.
Please don't embarrass me and don't embarrass yourself.
I'm trying very hard.
Okay, let's move on. Any other comments from the public this evening? I believe your hand was next in line.
Yeah, Martin Burkhoff, FranklinFreePress.com, box 542, Pittstown. You made a comment that you let an employee go because we are in a financial crisis, or we are, do not have the money to continue to pay. That was like, when were we ever determined, or you determined that we are in a financial crisis, or we have to lay people off because we don't have the money to afford to pay them? I have several questions based on your answer.
Okay,
All right.
I'll answer that question very easily for you. Nowhere in my statement did I say that we had to lay somebody off because we had a financial burden or a financial that we could not meet. The township is in very sound financial position, thank God. We simply had a workforce reduction. The township committee, the workforce reduction was geared towards a position, the mechanics position at our DPW. When we looked at and analyzed the cost of what it cost us, salary benefits and fringe benefits to have a full-time mechanic at our facility versus what it would cost us to send our repair work out to an outside source, it proved itself very obvious that that was a very prudent thing to do and be able to save the taxpayers' dollars by making that move. My statement is that because of the contract that the township holds with the Franklin Township Public Works Association, even though the employee that was laid off was what we consider to be a mechanic for the township, he still has the first right of refusal to apply for any other position in the DPW. Their contract calls for a certified letter to be sent to him. We plan on honoring and following all the conditions of the contract that we have with them, and that will be done when the time is appropriate.
Okay, I know that, I believe that gentleman also is, besides a mechanic, has, I think, 3 listings as to what he can do. He's an operator, the whole thing. You guys, I believe, were aware that the gentleman who just gave his resignation, the retiring, was doing that, yet you laid him off. Now there's like a 2-year rule where he can come back. Why are we even considering going out and doing for other people to come and look at this job? Why don't we just hire him right back?
Because we don't know if he has the experience that's required by the job